Hey guys, today we are going to solve this problem. So this is the problem known as Palindrome Shuffle from Educational Codeforces round rated for Div 2. So in this problem we will be given a string S, and what we have to do is we have to choose a substring from that string S and shuffle it in any order as we wish. And then after shuffling the substring S, we have to make the string S as palindrome. And the task is we have to take the minimum possible length of the substring. Okay, and then there are some additional points given here that we can say the string has an even length. This is the first constraint. The string will always be an even length string, and it can always be converted to palindrome, and its length will never exceed 2 into 10 to the power 5 per test case, right? Okay, so this is it. So let me just explain you the question by this particular example, right? So here I have a string that I have to convert to a palindrome by choosing a substring. So let me just copy this string, right, and bring it here. Okay, very good. I'm not able to move it, but yeah, okay. So this is the string, and I have to choose a substring from this string and shuffle the characters of that substring and make it palindrome, right? So the first thing that I need to observe here in this question is that I have to take that part of the string which is not palindrome. The part which is already palindrome, we do not need to take it. For example, like what is the definition of a palindromic string? Suppose that there is a string and it is palindrome, then that simply means that the first and the last character will be the same, right? And then the second and the second last character will be the same, and then the third and the third last character will be the same, and likewise, the n by 2 minus 1 and n by 2 will be same, right? If we are taking 0 based indexing, then in that way. And it is an even ordered it is an even length string, so obviously we'll have to have first half and the second half, right? This is the simple definition of a palindromic string. So if we take this particular string, this is another example, we'll take this later. This is the first example that we'll be taking, and this is the second example I'll be taking. So I can see that A is there, so that is fine, we do not need to worry about it. Then here it is C and C, fine. Here it is B and B, it is fine. But here it is A and here it is C. So only this portion of this string is the portion that we should be concerned about, because the rest portion is already a palindrome. So what I'll do is I'll simply erase the palindromic part, which is already a palindrome, because I have to minimize my answer, right? So why to take that part that will just maximize my answer? So I've ignored that part. Fine. Now this is the part left, so I can just write the neglected part here, ACB and BCA, right? This is it. And this is the part that I have to operate on. So one more thing that I can observe here is my DD, like this is an even length string, right? And in the middle, this thing is already a palindrome. So I can even remove this part as well, right? So I can remove this part as well, and I can write it as DD. Now I have AC and AC. So what should I do such that this whole string converts to palindrome? It's very simple, right? Either you make AC as CA, or you make this AC as CA, right? Let's suppose I am saying that make this one as it was AC, right? So I made it as CA. I made it as CA. Now this was already a palindrome. This was already a palindrome, and now we have converted this as a palindrome, right? So what we did, we just chose a substring of length 2 because this part was AC. Okay, we chose it and we shuffled it. We converted AC into CA, and our whole string has become a palindrome now, right? This is what you have to output. You have to output the length of the substring by minimizing that answer. So the answer is 2 in this case, right? So now how are you going to do this? What should be the thought process and everything? That is we are going to discuss, right? Okay, so first observation is that we have to minimize our answer, right? The first thought process I've already told you will remove the palindromic part of a given string. Okay, the first thing that we'll do. will only deal with the non-palindromic part of the string. After that, we have to minimize the answer, right? So what we can do is, for example, if I take this example, which I already, like the previous example, if I just paste it again, this is it, right? Yeah. If I take this example, so the first thing is, the first observation is, I only have to deal with this part of the string, right? Not the this portion. These three characters from the left and right, I'll not take them. This is the first observation. Now, what is the range of the substring that you can take in this string to make the whole string palindrome? What is the length of this string? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? The string length is 6. So maximum you can take a string of 6 length, and you can shuffle the characters and make the whole string as a palindrome, right? And it has already said in the question that the string can always be made a palindrome. Then we can be sure that we are always sure that if we take the whole non-palindromic part and reshuffle it, it will definitely make the string palindrome. What is the minimum substring that we can take to make it palindrome? 2, right? Why not 1? Because if you take a, let's suppose if I take one substring of length a and I reshuffle it, then there is only one way to reshuffle a, right? It is only a. So obviously you cannot take 1. So the minimum will be 2 and the maximum will be 6, the length of the non-palindromic part, right? This is it. Very good. Okay. Now if I have to ask that you have got a range of possible answers, something should click in your mind, and that is obviously binary search. That is what we are going to do. How are we going to do it? How we'll implement it? That is something we'll see later. But yeah, something that strikes here is we have to use binary search, right? Okay. Now let me just erase this part, the palindromic part. I erased it, and I know that I have to use binary search here. So I am writing here 2 and 6. This is the possible range. So this is low, this is high. Then what will be my mid? So I'm going to now use the binary search algorithm to reach to that particular value 2. So I said low is 2, high is 6. So what will be the mid? Mid is obviously 4, right? 6 plus 2 by 2 is 4. So I'm taking the substring of length 4 and I'll be reshuffling the characters of that substring and I'll try to make the string as palindrome, right? So let's suppose I took this, okay? Not suppose, I took this substring of length 4, right, from the string, and I'm trying to make this string as palindrome, right? Okay. Now tell me, what should I do? Okay, so let me just write it in this way. I took these 4 characters I took. Now if I have to make this string as palindrome, what should I, or how should I reshuffle these characters? See, it's very simple. I'll explain you. First of all, let me just make another part or another portion of this string as 4. So these are the first 4 characters of this string of length 6, and these are the last 4 characters of this string, right? Now definitely I will have to put, if here it is AC, I will have to put CA here, right? This is something that you should always be sure of. If here it is AC, I'll have to put CA here. So what I'll do is, I'll check, can I put CA here? The answer will be yes, I can put CA here. The remaining portion, the overlapping portion, the remaining overlapping portion, this portion should always have characters in even numbers. Why? See, suppose there is a string S, and suppose there is a string of let's say n length. Okay, there is a string of n length here, and there is another overlapping string of n length here. I have to make this whole string as palindrome. Then obviously this portion should be equal to this portion, right? I'll try to make this portion as this, or this portion as this. I'll try both these ways. Once I am done with this, I'll make sure that all the characters which are present here in the overlapping region, these characters must always be in even number. because I can place them in the left half and the right half, and I can always have a pair of characters in the string that will make the string at the end palindrome, right? This is what the logic I am using here, I'm trying to use here, right? Fine. So that simply means that 4 is my answer. That means 4 can be my answer. Okay, so I'll store answer as 4, and we have to minimize the answer, right? So we will check for further lesser value. So my low is 2 and my high becomes mid -1. That is how binary search works. So my high becomes 3. Now my mid will be 3 plus 2 by 2, that is 2, right? We are taking the floor. Now we have a substring of length 2, a substring of length 2, a substring of length 2. Now this is case 2. Why case 2? What was case 1? Case 1 was the case when there was overlapping of substrings. Like suppose there is a string of length n, and if I am taking any substring of length n by 2 greater than n by 2, then obviously there will be overlapping in between the substrings from the start and the end. So that was our case 1, overlapping. But this is now our case 2. This is an easier, comparatively easier case, that is non-overlapping, right? So here the substrings that we are taking from the start and the end, they are not overlapping, right? One more question may arise in your mind: why are we taking substrings from start and the end? Because we have to make it palindrome, right? We have to somehow make the first and the the first characters, the initial characters, and the last characters, the left and the right characters, as equal, right? That is what the characteristic of a palindrome string is. So that is what we are trying to do, nothing else, right? So mid is 2, so I took these 2 characters from the left and I took these 2 characters from the right. Fine. Now I'll check that can this left portion be made equal to the right portion. In this case, yes, it is AC, so I can definitely make it as CA, and my left and right will together make a palindromic string. Fine. But my concern will always be will also be on this middle part. This part should also be palindrome, because let's suppose if it was not palindrome, like if it was DE, then I could have made this portion as palindrome, this portion as equal to this, but this portion was not a palindrome. So I'll always keep a check of this, that is the middle portion palindrome or not. So in this case it was, here it was D, so yes. So 2 is also my answer, like 2 can be my answer. So I'll change my answer to 2 and I'll check for further lesser value. So my low and high, my low will be 2, my high will be lesser than that, so mid -1, that is 1. Now the condition is violated. In binary search we say low is less than or equals to high, but here low is greater than high, so it will come out of the loop and my answer will be 2, and this is indeed the right answer for this particular case, right? So yeah, so this is the simple logic of this code. I hope it is clear, and I'll just do one more dry run with this second example, because that is a better example, I suppose, because the overlapping and the non-overlapping case will be much clearer in the second example, right? So let me just take this string here and put it here, and I can delete the first example, right? And I can just erase it up, and I can take the string here. Fine, this is my string. Fine, and let me just make a copy of this and I'll put it here. Okay, now tell me, the first thing that we'll do, as I have said, remove the palindromic part. So there is an A, there is an A, remove it. There is a B, there is a B, remove it. There is again a B, there is again a B, remove it. There is an A, there is an E, we cannot remove it, right? Because obviously this part is not palindrome. This is the shortest part that is not a palindrome, right? So let's just take this string, and now we'll start to make it palindrome. Now again, what will be the range of my binary search? Low and high. Minimum it can be 2, it will always be 2, and highest it can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What will be the mid? Obviously 5. Let's take 5 substrings, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and from the end we'll take 3 and 4 and 5. This is it, right? What is this case? This is the first case. Case 1, what is it? Overlapping. Overlapping. And in the overlapping case, we have already seen that what we will do is we will first try to figure out, can we make the left overlapping part equal to the right overlapping part, or can we make the right overlapping part right non-overlapping part. Okay, let me just rephrase it. I think I said it wrong. First we'll check that if we can make the left non-overlapping part equal to the right non-overlapping part. If not, we will check, can we make the right non-overlapping part equal to the left non-overlapping part. And then at the end, if we get true, at the end we'll check that this particular thing should always have characters in pairs. Then only we can be sure that the whole string is a palindrome, right? Better to just try run on this case and show you. See, so I have my AB, AA, B, A, E, E. Okay, what is the overlapping part? Definitely this, right? This is my overlapping part, and this is my non-overlapping. This is also my non-overlapping. So I have ABA. Can I make okay, let's just check the left and the right. So can I make AEE from here? No, obviously I cannot make. Why? Because I need 1A and 2E, and I have no E here. I have 2A and 1B, so I cannot definitely make it. Now check the opposite. Can I make ABA here? No, I have 2E, but I want 1B, and B is not present here. So that simply means that for m equals to, that is for mid equals to 5, our answer will be no. And if the answer will be no, we'll always check for substring of greater length, because for smaller length we are not getting the answer, right? Because there is some portion remaining that is not becoming palindrome. So obviously we'll have to check for a higher value, right? That is what we need to understand. So I'll check for her further higher value. So I'll say my low becomes mid plus 1, and okay, I think I have done a mistake here. Let me just rephrase it. I've taken this string of 5, and okay, let me just do it again. ABA, I cannot do it. Fine, yeah. Or let me just run it in the code and see if it is working or not, right? Like, what is the correct answer? I'll do it. So ABBA, ABAA, ABBA, ABAA, ABBA, and okay, so this is it, BBB and AEE, BBA. So I have AEE and BBA. So what is the right answer for this? The right answer is 5. Okay, let's check. I think I'm making some mistake here. Okay, let's see. This is okay, I got it. See, we have mid equals to 5, right? So this is the portion, the first portion, and this is the right portion, right? This is it. Fine. See, what we are trying to do is we are trying to make here the reverse of AEE. What will be the reverse of AEE? It will obviously be EEA, right? So we will check in this substring, can we make EEA? Do we have a E here? No, we don't have. So we cannot make. So that simply means that we cannot make palindromic part on the left side for the right side, right? We cannot make a palindromic part for the right non-overlapping part on the left side. So we will check the reverse, the other way. What I'll do is, earlier I took the right portion, right? So now I'll take the this left portion. I took the left portion, now I'll take the right portion, and I'll take it here as well, right? So I have ABA, right? What we will try to do is we'll try to make the reverse of this here, ABA. ABA, we'll try to make ABA here, right? From this substring, ABAEE, we'll try to make ABA here. Is it possible? Yes, it is possible. Why? Because we have a we got A. We have B, we have B, we have A, we have A. Very good. So we will be left with EE, right? Okay. So I hope you got this point, what I was trying to say. First of all, I checked for the first 5 characters from the left, and I tried to make the remaining non-overlapping 3 characters from the right on the left, but it was not possible, right? I'll just show you again. I think it would be not clear, so I'll just show it again. So first of all, I took the left portion consisting of 5 characters, and I took the right as well, 5 characters, right? And I said that this is the non-overlapping portion. And what is this portion? AEE. I tried to make this the palindromic part of this, that is the reverse part of this here. I tried to make here EEA, but it is not possible because this substring is not having any E's. We want 2 E's, but it is not having, right? That is something we can do very easily by hash table. I'll show the code and it will be very clear to you. So we simply that simply means that we cannot make here 2 E's, right? So we'll check the other way. What is the other way? We'll check this 5 characters from the right and 5 characters from the left, and we will try to make ABA here, right? We'll try to make ABA ka reverse part. What is the reverse of ABA? It's obviously ABA. Okay, so please excuse the sound of airplane. Yeah, so we try to make ABA here. So can we make ABA here? Yes. A is there, B is there, A is there. Yes, we can make. Fine. So what I can do is I can simply say that I'll take this substring and I'll rearrange the characters as what I'll do is I will simply take this ABA, I'll move it here, EE here, I'll move it here, and ABA here, and I'll move it here. Fine. So the non-overlapping portion, I have made it palindromic. This was the non-overlapping portion, if you remember correctly. This was the non-overlapping portion. We have made it palindrome. Now we have to check the overlapping portion if the characters are in even frequency. Is that true? Yes, there are 2 E's. That is true. That is possible. Let's suppose if there was a D and E, then in that case they will not be in pairs, right? So we will say that it would not have been my answer. But here, since there are 2 E's, so yes, that will be my answer, right? So that simply means that for mid equals to 5, I have my answer, right? For mid equals to 5, I have my answer. So answer equals to 5. Now I'll check for further lesser value. So I have low and high, 2, mid is minus. So high is mid minus 1. We are checking for lesser value. So I'll be having 4 and then mid here, and then I have 3, right? Yeah, 4 plus 2 is 6 Python. Okay, fine. So again, we are going to take the string, the same string, right? We'll take the string, we'll remove the non-palindromic part, and this we will always do before jumping into binary search, right? We'll not always do it at each step. Okay, fine. Now we are taking substring of length 3. So this is 3 and this is 3. We'll check, can ABA made into AEE? No. Can AEE made into ABA? No. So do not check it and check for some higher value, right? And I've already said that what will be the condition for binary search for updating the low and high. If you can make a palindrome, then always check for lesser value. So that simply means that high equals to mid minus 1. And if you cannot make palindrome, then that simply means that check for higher value. Why? Because you always in this case have some characters as not palindrome. So we'll always check low equals to mid plus 1. This will be the simple condition. I'll show you the code. The code is actually very simple, right? Not very simple, but yeah, it's like there are few cases that we have to consider. Fine. So definitely I'm not able to take any answer from mid equals to 3. So I'll check for what? I'm not able to do it, right? So higher. So low is 2 and so low becomes 4, right? Low becomes 4 and high was 4 and okay, I'm sorry, I think okay, mid was an answer and we checked for the lesser value. Okay, now we are at 4. Okay, fine, we are at 4. So let's check. I have 4 here and I have 4 here. We'll check, can we make a b a a from b a e e? No, we cannot. Can we make b a e e from a b a a? No, we cannot. So again, we'll check for what? Further higher value. So low is mid plus 1. So this becomes 5 and high becomes 4. Mid. Can we make mid? No. Low is less than or equals to high. This condition is violated. We came out of the binary search and the answer that we got is 5. So this is the simple logic of this code. The main crux of the problem is there are two different cases. The first case is like if I have to summarize the problem from the starting. So the first case is we will remove the non-palindromic part, the palindromic part from the string. For example, this was the string given to us. So A and A make a palindrome, so we'll remove it. B and B make palindromes, so we'll remove it. Again, B and B make palindromes, so we'll remove it. Now the answer is reduced to this particular string. We will have a minimum, like the minimum substring that we can take from this string is 2, and the maximum that we can take is the length of this entire substring, that is 8. We will do a binary search on this range, and for each range we will check if we can make palindromic if we can make the string palindrome or not. And again, as I told you, there will be two cases. Case 1 will be overlapping, case 2 will be non-overlapping. For the overlapping case, we will have a substring like this and a substring like this. We will check, can we make this equal to, not I should say equal to, or I should say can we make this non-overlapping portion, can we make it palindromic with this non-overlapping portion? If it is not true, we'll check the reverse. Can we make this non-overlapping portion palindromic with this non-overlapping portion? And if for any particular, and if any one of these two cases, if I'm getting yes, then I'll always check that the overlapping portion should always have characters in even frequency or even number, so that we can form pairs and we can put it in first half and second half. And for the non-overlapping portion, suppose I have this and this, then I'll always check, can I make this equal to this? And if I cannot make, then I'll check that, then I'll simply say no, it is not possible. But let's suppose that I'm able to make this portion as equal to this portion, then I'll always check that this middle portion should always be a palindrome. And if by any of these two cases, if we are able to make the string palindrome, we'll check for a lower value. So yeah, we'll check for a lower value, right? If we are able to make palindromes, we'll say high equals to mid minus 1. If we are not able to make palindrome, we'll say low equals to mid plus 1, right? Yeah, so this is the simple logic of this problem. Now I'll show you the code. Yeah, this is the code. So first of all, what I did was I took the input of the string s, I stored it in n, and what I did was I removed the characters, like this portion removes the palindromic parts from left and right. And if at the end I am getting s as empty, that simply means that my string is already a palindrome. So I handled this edge case, and then I moved further and I put two low and high, low as 2 and high as s dot length, as I've shown you already. Then I did a binary search on this, and I calculated the mid. Now this is my non-overlapping case. This is it. I have shown this with an example. This is the non-overlapping case. So first of all, I'll take this I'm calling as left, and this I'm calling as right. So I'll extract the left and the right substrings, I'll sort them, and I'll check that if they are equal. If they are not equal, then obviously I cannot make the string as palindrome. So I'll say made palindrome equals to false. Otherwise, if I can make left equals to right, I'll check that this portion, this middle, this should be always a palindrome. So I'll check if the remaining part in the middle is palindrome or not. And if it is not a palindrome, I'll say made palindrome is false. And this is the non-overlapping case. So this is my first portion, this, and the second portion is this. Okay, this right now what I'll do is I'll check that if the right non-overlapping part can be made from the left non-overlapping part. If it is true, then then yes, we can make it palindrome, right? Because I'll show you this check overlapping case. I'll just show you this. I've made a different a separate function for this check overlapping case. So this simply checks that if I can make the non-overlapping parts as palindrome or not. And if I can make, I'll always check that if the overlapping part is palindrome or not. And if it is not palindrome, I'll say false. Otherwise, I'll say true. Right? This was what it is. So yeah, that's it. So we'll check that if the right non-overlapping part can be made from left non-overlapping part, or if the left non-overlapping part can be made from the right non-overlapping part, right? And if it cannot be made from either of them, I'll simply say false, right? And yeah, that's it. And if I can make a string palindrome, I'll always check for a lesser answer because I have to minimize my answer. And if I cannot make, I'll always check for a higher value because obviously I need to have more a string of more length so that I can make it palindrome, right? Yeah, so this is the simple code for this, and I hope you have got the logic. And if I talk about time complexity, so the time complexity is for the binary search, it is log n, worst case, and then we are taking substrings and sorting them as well here, and yeah, so it is n log n, worst case. So the time complexity is somewhere around log n log n. So it is n log n log n. So like somewhere worst case, definitely the time complexity is lesser than this particular worst case in most of the cases. So yeah, that is the time complexity. And since the time limit is 2 seconds, so obviously the code will run perfectly fine. Yeah, so that was it. I hope you have got this logic, and if there are any doubts, you can just write it in the comments. Yeah, thanks.